This presentation is brought to you by Arizona State University's Julianne Wrigley Global Institute of Sustainability and a generous investment by Julianne Wrigley.
Firstly, as Rimjim said, it's very strange. You know, I'm an old environmentalist. I've been at this for many, many years. But what makes me feel very strange today that we are confronted with a situation where for once we know that we need to make drastic changes in the way we do business. We know that we need to live our lives differently. We need to grow our food differently. We need to build our homes in our cities very differently. And we know we need to make a transition to a world where we can have progress without pollution. We know all this. We know that we cannot keep living in a world that is based on mindless consumption, but actually believes in well-being of people. But the question that we have today, and that's what makes this so strange, is we know all this, and yet we are finding it so difficult to be able to move ahead. It's no longer about denial. It's really about our inability to take action and to make the transition at the scale and pace that is needed. And that's what's very important. We cannot anymore tinker around with small solutions and think that we've found the answers. We know that we need answers which are big, which will make us, which will require us to push the envelope. And really, this is really what we need to discuss. How do we get there? Because the one thing that is absolutely certain is that the science is more and more certain, but the action is more and more uncertain. In the 90s, when we began negotiations on climate change, we really didn't know whether these predictions, the models that these sort of fuddy-duddy scientists were coming up with, were actually going to come true. We didn't know that these models had any real sense in it. It was just too far out in the future. And we were being asked to believe something which just seemed more probabilistic. You know, perhaps it'll happen, perhaps. But today we know that those models are more or less coming true. We cannot say this anymore, that we don't know that science is now more certain. We cannot say that our world is not more vulnerable today than it was yesterday. We are beginning to see events around us. We are beginning to see the intensity of cyclones, more variable weather events, more extreme weather patterns. We can see that. We can see our weather changing. And remember, in our part of the world, this has huge impacts. I say this constantly in India, that the Finance Minister of India is not this very respected gentleman who sits in his chair, Mr. Chidambaram. The Finance Minister of India is actually the monsoon. And I found it very interesting when I came here that you also have a monsoon. I didn't think monsoon existed anywhere else but India, but but I don't know if it's your finance minister as well. I can tell you that the monsoon in India is our finance minister. Large numbers of people depend on the rain for growing crops. Increasing variability of rainfall makes life more uncertain. Increasing intensity of rainfall events, extreme rainfall events, devastates lives. And we know that with climate change, we will get more extreme rainfall events. We know we will get more rain, which is good news, partly, but we know that rain will come in shorter number of days, in smaller number of days, which means that you will see more intense rainfall, more extreme rainfall, and that is already beginning to happen. We can see the stress on water, we can see the stress on people's lives. Every year we get more and more variable events, from heat, extreme heat, to extreme cold, to more floods because of more intense rainfall events, and now increasing frequency of droughts. And I think that really is what we have to understand is what climate change is about. We have to put the human face on climate change to understand that it's beginning to impact, it's beginning to make its pain felt, and yet we are not able to move ahead. And so, what do we do? And this is where I want to take you a little bit to India. I want to take you to explain how we are beginning to see that there are possibilities of new directions. We need to believe in them, we need to work them, we need to push them. But there are ways in which we could perhaps see that there is a different future possible.
This presentation is brought to you by Arizona State University's Julianne Wrigley Global Institute of Sustainability for educational and non-commercial use only.